So apparently there's a lot of you looking for how to invest in stocks for beginners with little money. There's lots of criteria in there. So stay tuned to the end because I'm going to give you two massive gifts. One's on cryptocurrency and the other one, how do you automate all of your portfolio so you don't have to get up with the market? If you're on the West Coast, you don't have to get up at 4 o'clock. You just automate your portfolio, including your digital currencies. Stay tuned. The three things specifically we're going to talk about is number one, how do you practice due diligence? How do you even begin and start? Number two, I'm going to talk about an app that will totally automate your portfolio. Number three is taxes. No one talks enough about taxes in the stock market, and it's critical. I have some strategies where you're going to have like tax-free gains. How about that? So let's talk about the stock market. Right? It has been in existence. It's been volatile. It goes up, it goes down. My entire brand has been built on off Wall Street assets. So I say that as a disclaimer because I'm not a stock market person. Now, I did take those fun classes where you learn, how to get up with the market and manually trade with the market and you know if your stocks pay dividends and blah, blah, blah. Wasn't my thing. I live on the West Coast, so I didn't want to get up at 4 a.m. when the market woke up and just pay attention to it. And a lot of you are the same way. So I do encourage you to take some classes, understand it, but do you really want to be that active trader? Now, I have some clients that are phenomenal traders. In fact, the gentleman that's co-writing my Make Your Kids Millionaires book, that'll be out in April of 2022. It's Financial Literacy Month, so we're going to put it out then. He's a phenomenal trader. I mean, makes millions trading, but he has studied and studied and studied 20, 30 years. So that is the first thing in due diligence is who are you and what do you want with the stock market? So clearly there are runaway trains, there's IPOs, there's all sorts of things you can do in it. The question is, do you want to automate it or do you want to be manually trading? Either way, whether you pick automated trading or you pick manual trading, you want to be in doing it. And there's tons of great platforms for that. So go do some homework, do some shopping. The things that I would look at as far as the due diligence, if you're going to trade actively, is look at the fees clearly in all of that. Look at your, buy and sell fees. Look at your, you can tell by my conversation, it's just not my wheelhouse. This isn't my expertise. Mine is off Wall Street, but I got to address this because a lot of you want to get in, you're going to get killed. So that's probably my biggest concern for a lot of you. So as you get in, you decide which way to do it. Even in our iFlip, right, which I'm going to give you that software link. It's a free app. It's a software. It's AI driven. Very cool. And the reason it got developed is because of people like me. Right? And I am an owner of that company because I don't want to trade it all day. What I can do is I can look at a set of stocks. So whether you're manually trading or picking a portfolio, which is what you would do with iFlip, what I love training kids about is stocks, like the obvious stuff. The first thing is what's private and what's public. So we're talking the public stock market, right? We're talking the Dow, we're talking the NASDAQ, we're talking things like that. What's the obvious stuff that you use? When COVID hit, it was really fun to work with a lot of our clients. What was the obvious things that were going to happen, right? Cruise lines were going to go down, gas and oil took a huge hit. But things like Zoom, there was a lot of tech that just blew up during this whole COVID period. Disney, do you love going to Disneyland? Like a lot of people picked that. That took a huge dip. So as it took a big dip, you could buy in at low rates. So think about common sense is how I teach, right? CFS, common freaking sense. Like, what's the stuff you use? Do you actually use Amazon over and over and over? Now, it's kind of a high point. So would you buy or not? That's up to you and your due diligence. So if you don't have a lot of money, just take a broad stroke. I mean, first of all, I would just go out and spend hours looking at different platforms that you might want to use if you're going to be manually trading. I would look at their fee structure. Interactive Broker has dollar trades, so it's usually one that a lot of beginners start with. It's the cheapest. There are some platforms, but again, you got to have big balances to get to $0 trades. But as far as the selections, look at stuff you use. Right? Look at Apple. If you use an Apple phone, if you use Microsoft, if you use Amazon, if you use Zoom, if you use GoToWebinar, whatever you're using technically, typically those are always going to be, great stocks to get into depending on what you're doing. So as you look at those and put your portfolio together manually or automated. Let's talk about the automated and iFlip because that's what I do more of. So the portfolios are built on an algorithm that a genius, he actually managed billions of dollars for the Deutsche Bank. So he was the one that we found to build these algorithms where it's going to take you in and out of the market. It's automatically trading. So for example, in March 2020, The average market loss was 33% for those that were manually trading. For those that had an iFlip software app, lost about 2 to 3%. Because it pulls you out. Now, what you'll have to get used to, and you'll do some due diligence and we'll do more training with you, is understanding that you could be in cash for a while the market's super volatile, because you want to be out of those positions and then come back in when the positions are really low so you can get the gain. You don't have to make up, for example, last year, people had to make up for a 30% loss in their portfolios. So even though they're doing fine now, they had to make up 30 points. I only had to make up 2.8. So you can look at the different profiles. Now, coming into this summer, right? This is 2021 summer. I can tell you digital currency, there will be a lot of those profiles and those portfolios being put out now and being put out more and more over the fall. So you can buy into a portfolio of maybe 10, 12 different coins. So you might want Bitcoin or Ethereum or EOS, whatever you want. So there's will be a variety of portfolios highly studied by this genius man who put them together. Your job's to open an app, free. All right, I'll give you that link at the end, and decide which portfolios. So you can do low risk, moderate risk, high risk. You can do more, if you like green energy, you can do more green energy. There's some that are actually gas and oil driven. There are some that are digital currency driven. So your job is to pick which one you want. They have people on the phone, not, emailing your questions, that you can pick up the phone, shocking, and actually talk to a human, which is what the greatest benefit is. You can actually talk to them about the portfolios. How do you decide? And like anything, start small. All right. So a little bit of money for you beginners, you can start with $50. And then every week or every month, add $50, put it, I always say you park it and then just let it go and let it do its magic. Use the AI that it's driven inside the portfolios to make bigger returns than most of you are going to make, probably manually, and then risking that downside. Because unless you are a very active and smart trader, I would just caution that. So if you're liking this content, hit the thumbs up button. It's easy for you, means a lot to us, and more people will get to see this video. So we appreciate that. Now let's talk about the last part of this topic, which is taxes, and so critical. So in the manual trades, right, as you get capital gains from where you buy it to where you sell it, where you take dividends, you will have capital gains tax, and you're gonna have to pay that tax every year. So here's the challenge we find with a lot of our clients that are employed, especially high income earners, and you have capital gains on your stock portfolio. The only way that you can reduce your taxes is have a company, right? I call it a business, a cash machine. A lot of you are calling it a side hustle lately, but it's that entity that has the right to do legal deductions. There are so many boring, wrong CPAs in the world that will tell you, oh, unless you make $100,000, you can't have an entity. That's not true. The point of a corporate structure like an LLC is that you have the legal right to do deductions. Even better for you, right? You as a person don't have legal rights to write off your computer, your phone, your subscriptions, tuition's the thing you're doing, your car, home office, lots of ways that you can do a deduction. So having a company and also trading inside that company is another strategy, because you actually get to make it, do the deductions, then paid on what's left. So I have a lot of clients who actually use an entity and put their, whether it's manual or their flip, portfolio inside of there. So it allows some deductions against that capital gains income. The other way, which is my favorite way, is a Roth IRA. I should just walk around with a little flag that says Roth, Roth, Roth. So the reason is a Roth IRA grows inside. So yes, it's after-tax money, but it grows inside tax-free, tax-deferred. So a lot of times our clients will have two flip accounts, one cash, right? Just that's you as an individual, and they'll open a Roth IRA and then they'll invest. Now you can only put like $6,000 to $7,000 into a Roth. $6,000 until you're 50, $7,000 after 50. But that money could be, right, in that Roth owns its own app, and inside of that you can algorithmically trade it, right? So you just pick the portfolios and it does its magic. It's AI driven, it's automatic. We find a lot of clients just are so busy in their business world, their family world, doing real estate, that this is the place you can kind of park and pray. I'm not really a park and pray fan, but in this model, because it's AI driven, it's going to take you out of the market if, losses happen. We've been outperforming, iFlip's been outperforming the S&P 500 ever since we began. So a lot of people say, well, just, park your money in the S&P 500 and it'll do great. Why don't you park your money in a flip account inside of a Roth? So a lot of times our clients will have a cash and a Roth account, 2 flip accounts, 2 softwares, both free. $50 a month, folks. Just put it away, put it away, put it away. That pattern is going to change your life with money. But the way you're going to grow all of that tax-free is inside a Roth. The other is the entity. So those are your 2 tax strategies. Right now, it's about getting started, right? Most beginners want to look and look and look and look, think you're going to come up with some magic pill that's just going to magically change your life. It's about making money and investing money. So on the link below, I give you a free app. It is a US-based app. If you are in other parts of the world, you can click on it. There's another place that says I'm international and it'll take you somewhere else, because then you have to actually load a software into your desktop. But either way, it's free. And all you have to do is invest. Start putting your money away. It's the biggest thing that I find most people don't do. Start investing now and do it consistently for the rest of your life.